Hey guys, I'm Mark with the Tractor Tread YouTube channel, and today we're going to take a look at a product from Kubota. It's the V5299. It's a front mount snowblower. It's mounted on a Kubota RTV-1100 cab model. Let's take a closer look. For this video today, we'll be using the Kubota RTV-X1100C. It's a cab unit with heat and air. It has a bed liner and ATV tires. The option on this RTV is the K773199 620 front halogen light set. Up on the front, we had the V5293 4-point hitch and power unit, the V5299 PTO drive and K connect, and also the V5296 66-inch residential snowblower. Now we'll take a look underneath the RTV. You can see the frame mount for the snowblower. It's bolted to the underside of the RTV. It's not something that you're going to want to remove. And you will lose a little bit of ground clearance, and we'll take a measurement on that. With the snowblower on the ground, we can see we have 5 inches of clearance underneath the machine. And inside the frame, you can get a good look at the drive shaft. This snowblower is drive shaft driven. On the front of the RTV, you have your self-contained hydraulic power unit. On each side, you have a wing nut. I already removed both the wing nuts on each side. You're going to lay this forward. Now you'll be able to see your fully contained hydraulic unit. And that powers all your hydraulics on your snowblower. On the left side, you have your hydraulic fittings going to the hydraulic rotation and hydraulic flap on the snowblower. Right underneath the power unit, you have your K-connect frame, and you'll use this mounting frame with a broom and also a hydraulic angle blade. Looking down the front of the unit, you'll see the drive shaft going into a heavy-duty cast iron gearbox. See some yellow markings. That's so you can line the unit up easy when you go to install the blower. On each side of the mounting frame, you have a pull pin. You can pull this back and lock it into place when you go to disconnect the blower. You have a lever on the right side that you push down, and that'll move the drive cog back out of the way so you can back away from the blower. When you connect the blower up, you want to make sure your pins are fully engaged and lift up on the handle, and that'll engage the cog for your drive. We have a grease fitting behind the blower. It's mounted between the gear case and the blower. This blower has a steel replaceable cutting edge. There is replaceable shear bolts on each side and each auger. The bearing on each side has a grease fitting, and there are grease fittings in the augers. This blower has heavy-duty steel skid shoes that are adjustable. Total width of the blower is 67 inches. The drift cutters are 31 inches high. The chute in the fully raised position is 46 inches high. Now we'll take a look on the inside of the RTV, and on the driver's side, on the lower left-hand corner, we'll see a throttle control. You can push on the red button, pull up on the throttle control, and you can turn the knob on the bottom clockwise and lock it into place. This will lock the RPMs into a high RPM setting, and you'll need that to run your blower. The unit will then drive like a tractor, so you can put it in forward, you can put it in reverse, and when you step on the gas pedal, it's not going to change the RPMs of the engine, it's just going to change the ground speed of the unit. I'll show you how this throttle system works. We're going to go ahead and start up the unit. And down along your left side, we'll go ahead and pull up the throttle. Right now, the snowblower's off. We're going to go ahead and raise it up. We have the throttle of the RTV up pretty high, and we're going to go ahead and shift it into gear. If you step on the foot pedal, you'll notice you can pick up the speed of the unit and not change the RPMs of the engine. And you need that for the snowblower. The snowblower's got to be turning at constant speed no matter how fast you're going inside the RTV. when you want to go back to normal operation, just go ahead and push down on that throttle. Now you can drive your RTV just like normal. When you step on that gas pedal now, you can hear the engine RPM pick up, get slow or get fast. On the left-hand side of the steering wheel, you have a PTO switch. This turns on the snowblower. Push in and twist to the right. That'll turn the snowblower on. To turn it off, push in and twist back to the left. On the left side of your PTO switch, we have your electronic control for the snowblower. Button up on the top raises the blower. The middle button lowers it, and you can put pressure down on the blower with this button. To put the blower into float, push on the lower button and up on the front at the same time, and this will light up a little LED, and that'll put the blower into float and take the pressure off the blower. The two buttons on the left hand side control your chute rotation, and the two buttons on the right hand side will control the hydraulic flap. Now we're going to start the RTV up. Looking at our control, you can push down on the top button. It'll raise your snowblower. Pushing on the middle button, it'll lower it. And if you push on it some more, it'll put pressure down on the blower and raise the RTV off the ground. If you'd like to put the blower into float, push down on this button and hold the front button. The LED light will light up. Now the blower is in float. There's no pressure on your snowblower. If you'd like to take it out of float, push on the middle button. That turns the light off, and the blower's back out of float. Using the buttons on the left-hand side, you can push on the top button. That'll rotate it to the right. Push on the lower left-hand button, and that'll rotate it to the left. Pushing the button on the top right will lower the chute. Pushing the button on the lower right will raise your chute deflector. So now I'm going to show you how to disconnect the snowblower. And first, what you want to do is remove your hydraulic lines, pull back on the hydraulic fitting, and it'll pull right off the coupler. They are color coded, so you know which way to put them back on. And they have end caps to slide right on the end of the coupler, so you can keep your oil mess to a minimum. Okay, so we have our hydraulic lines disconnected. We have our caps over our hydraulic fittings. And we're going to reach down here at the pull pin, pull that out, lock that into place. Going to go on the other side. We're going to do the same thing with the other pin. That's locked into place, and now we're going to push down on our handle. And that's going to release the cog for our PTO. So now we're going to reach inside the cab. We're going to start the unit up. Going to press down on the blower. Take a look outside. I want the frame to drop down out of here. Pins are already released. Everything looks pretty good. We're going to go ahead and lower it a little bit more. Press our control. You can see the unit's almost totally disconnected. If we lift up on the blower just a little bit, disconnect really easy. See if we can't back away from it. So I backed away from the snowblower. I did have to wiggle it a little bit with the drift cutters. Didn't take much to disconnect it. Now we got a good look at the blower disconnected. Got the drive cog inside the K connect. See the drive cog. and what the links look like that it all connects to. It's pretty simple. Now I'm going to go ahead and lift up the K-Connect so we can see how much ground clearance we're going to have when we're not using the blower. So I started the RTV back up, lifted the hitch all the way up, and we have about 6 inches of ground clearance underneath the hitch and about 5.5 inches of ground clearance underneath your frame. And I believe it's going to be about the same underneath the back also now with all the weight off it. Now we're ready to connect the blower, and Kubota gives you a mirror that you can hang off the front of the unit and pin it and angle it whatever way you want, so that way you can see down at those marks to line it up. Because while you're in the cab of the machine, you're not going to be able to see the front of that frame system. So let's go ahead and try that out. We got our mirror up in the front. Have it angled so that way we can get a reflection off what we're trying to do. I'm not going to lie, this isn't easy. This looks like it's going to be a little tricky, but at least we have something to see where we're going to be at. Now we'll give it a try and see if we can connect it. We'll go ahead and lower it all the way down. And we are looking at the reflection in that mirror. Doesn't give you a whole lot of view, but at least it gives you something. Let's go check that out, see how we made out. Well, we were inside the cab and we were looking at this mirror right here, and that was giving us an indication of how close we were. And really, we're not too far off. I think we can grab a hold of the blower now by hand and jockey it right into place and move the machine forward so we're ready to lock it in. I moved the blower a little closer by hand. I didn't have another person to help me out. I should have had a block, and if I would have put a little block right underneath here, I probably would have been able to drive the RTV right into the Connect. I am connected up right now. We'll go ahead and raise it up. Okay, we got it raised up, so we're going to go ahead and release the pin. Just by pulling that back like that, you can slide the pin right in. And this side here, same thing. Release the pin, it went right in. Now we'll go ahead and watch the cog move. By lifting up on the handle, you're engaging the PTO. Looks like we're all set there. So the last thing we had to do is hook up our hydraulic hoses. Simple as snapping them into place and then hopping in the machine and just testing everything out, making sure we have everything hooked up right. The pins are in place. Hooking up the drive shaft or the PTO shaft in this unit is just as simple as throwing that lever. So I got to tell you, this is a really easy unit to hook up. Now we're going to go ahead and start up the RTV. Turn the PTO switch on, push in, turn to the right. And the blower will be a little bit noisy, so you turn up the throttle, push down on the button, raise your throttle up. Now your snowblower is on. When you get off the seat of the RTV, it will shut off the snowblower. Turn it off, push down on the button, lower your RPM, and turn off the PTO switch. So that's my review of the V5299 front mount snowblower from Kubota. I want to thank you for watching my videos. Please subscribe. If you have any comments, please leave them in the comments section below. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to run this blower in any snow. It's just now getting colder in the Northeast, so maybe we'll be able to do a follow-up video down the road on this blower. I'm Mark with the Tractor Tread YouTube channel. We'll see you on the next one.